Hey guys, today we're doing a full chicken coop tour. So if you're new here or if you've been with us for a while now, you know that we built this chicken coop a while back. However, we didn't get to finish the cosmetic parts of it. So the exterior part, we didn't get to stain it and do all the kind of pretty things, some functional things, and there's still quite a bit left to do. I really never feel like it'll be done. That's how it goes when you have a farm and land and you do a whole bunch of things. So those of you that know, you know. So anyway, I wanted to give you guys a tour as well as give you an updated version of our chicken coop. So here it is. Okay, so first here, I'm just gonna show you from the outside. You can see here we finished putting the shingles on. And I apologize, it's just a little sunny. So earlier I had the shade and you could see it just a little bit better, but just looks very rustic. I love the look of it. They're cedar shingles that we got from Lowe's, and we got them for a really good price because they were on, I can't remember if they were on clearance or whatnot. And then I had all the extra wood that I used from the house. So again, this is stained, but I waited to stain until it got just a little kind of looking like that. So I may go for a darker stain here just to cover that up. It does have a clear coat of poly for everything. And then also these are painted black. We painted the roof black. So that's kind of the cosmetic side. This was done last time you guys saw it. And then we finished all the skirting around with hardware cloth. We tied it down. So you can't see it from here, but we did put stones all around the perimeter of it. Obviously the leaves are covering that up, but underneath here, if we dig, you can see hardware cloth right here. So there is what's called, let's see if you can see that better. There is what's called a predator apron, which is hardware cloth. We laid it down. It's about 2 feet wide all around the entire perimeter of the coop, the bottom of the coop, and the entire run. So that is for predators to not be able to dig and so on and so forth. So those are things that we definitely recommend when you're trying to predator proof your coop. So we have had our chickens. We got them last March or April and we raised them from chicks. And they started laying around late July, August. And then we started getting eggs pretty regularly. At first they were small and then they kept getting larger and larger. But here, I wanted to show you the coop and how we built it. Here we have these 2 doors that open up. I do have a carabiner here that helps for predator proofing. And then this gate latch here. And then you can see the inside of the coop. I have lined this with hardware cloth and I'll show you what this does in a second. But right here, we're using 2x4s as roosting bars. You can round off the edges. You can cover this in rope as well, and that helps. Hello there, lady. And then you can see here, the bedding that we used is pine shavings. And right here, you can see the nesting boxes. We got eggs to collect. I'll show you that. And then, hello, ladies. How are you doing? I'll back up here. So that's essentially the inside of the coop. You can see right there, we have ventilation there. I left ventilation here and here. Ventilation here in the front. It's really important for the inside of the coop to have ventilation because they're prone to respiratory diseases. And then we do not feed or have water in the coop part. That way this stays dry and they don't have to worry about, again, diseases, mold, or anything like that. So this is very clean. It actually doesn't smell at all, even though I can clearly see some chicken poop over there. For a chicken coop, it's very clean. And then right here, we also have this second door. I do have that on kind of like a latch here. So right now it's locked, but I can open this door. And then I can also unfold or open this entire door. I'm gonna close that because that lady might want to escape. So yeah, this whole door, I have it on a gate latch as well, and that opens up, so it's the clean out. So I can essentially open all of this up, and then I can take my wheelbarrow, I can dump all the shavings there, and then I'll be able to compost those shavings, and as well as compost the run. So I can eventually scoop out the run. I have compost bins here, but I'm probably gonna end up building some sort of structure so that I can just heap it in there because it'll be quite a lot of material once a year, maybe once every other year, who knows. This is Luca. High five. Did you want to say anything? All right. So you can see here, I said it's finished, but I got to clip off those zip ties. I just zip tied the seams there where you can see that, but that's the front. Okay, so I wanted to show you what these doors do. I put them on a latch right here, and it's like windows. So these 2 doors open up. And then the chickens have all of this ventilation, that ventilation. And on this side, you can see I put the wire here on the side, so I can actually see their little heads at night.
Yeah.
But you like seeing their little heads at night saying hi, right?
Yeah.
That's essentially the front side here of the coop. That's the purpose of the doors. I really more so use this in the summer. That way they have more ventilation because it does get hot. Many people are concerned about the coop being too hot for them in this structure in the summer. Keep in mind the coop is like their bedroom. They don't live in their coop per se during the day, except for laying eggs. However, the temperature in here was super cool because of all the ventilation. Even though there's a black roof, it actually didn't absorb heat and create all the, you know, things that people would think. So it was great. Here we have the nesting boxes. And then I did put some, the shingles, the same shingles on here. And then I have the nesting boxes. You can see we got lots of eggs.
Ooh. That's a fake egg. Nana marked it with an X.
This is a fake one. It's a wooden one, but then you can tell the difference. One, because these have been longer and they're not as clean. These are the fresh eggs. Look how beautiful these eggs are. We have to collect eggs today. We haven't done that yet.
Mom, I forgot.
And then you can see how they make their little nests. This one, even though we add straw to this, they tend to kick it out and they like the hardness. This one, not so much. Some chickens have different personalities and want a little more space. So thankfully, none of these eggs are really cracked, but I'm gonna try to add more here and see. But look at all these beautiful eggs. This is again a wooden one, fake one. So really, all of these are the actual eggs. And then here we got some more. If you're wondering how many nesting boxes per chicken, usually it's 4 to 5 chickens will lay in one nesting box. So you can do that chicken math. We have 19 chickens, so we have a total of 6 nesting boxes, but as you can tell, they don't really use all of them. This one chicken laid, and then this one none. So really, most of the time, these 3 nesting boxes are full for our 19 chickens. This side, they don't really use a ton, which is fine. It's available if they want it, but they don't need to. Okay, so this is what we do every day. Luca helps us collect the eggs. Good job, bud. And then we have, I don't know how many eggs today. How many do you think we have, Luca?
Maybe 20 or 25.
20 or 25 eggs and 19 chickens?
2. Maybe some of them weighed 2 or maybe some weighed 1 extra.
Maybe. So chickens typically lay an egg a day. If not, they skip a day here and there. So our chickens have been pretty consistent even through winter. And I really credit that to the feed that we give them, the organic feed, and all the extra stuff that we give them. We give them peas, and my wife has been sprouting peas for them, dried peas, a whole bunch of different things. You got 6 so far. Look how beautiful.
7.
They look like Easter eggs.
8. 9. 10. 11.
That one's so pretty.
Yeah. 12.
And on this side, I'll grab it for you. 13.
13.
And that's it.
Yep. That's
So you can see here, all eggs are collected. So 19 chickens, and we had 13 eggs today. We get about anywhere from 10 to, the other day we got 18 eggs per day. So that's amazing. That's a lot of eggs. We eat a lot of eggs. We give some to my in-laws, and then the rest we actually sell at our chiropractic office. So we didn't even realize, you know, the whole egg crisis thing with the costs going up. We've been selling our eggs for quite a while now at our office, and people have been so thankful because we really price them so that it can offset our feed costs. So whatever we can put toward the feed costs, because that did go up, we feed them organic, no corn, no soy feed. I think it's Reedy Forks Farm, something like that in North Carolina. That's the feed that we give them. So anyway, here is the roof. I use PVC roofing, which is kind of flimsy. It works well, but in hindsight, I really did need to build more of an infrastructure underneath because it is kind of flimsy. So it does need more infrastructure underneath because sometimes when it rains, it can dip a little bit. So you can kind of see right up there, It does have a little bit of a dip. Not too bad. I secured it down with roofing screws, so on and so forth. So easy to install. I really like it, but I do think I needed to build a little more infrastructure underneath.
One time a branch did fall on the roof.
Yes, one time we had one branch fall on the roof. That's why there's a bit of a dent on that coop roof. So here is the run. And then right here you could see I built the doors as well. And then again, we used all scrap material that we had to use this. I did buy some things like the wire and all that. You could see here I still need a trim, some of the zip ties holding this together, and a few details. I also need to rebuild the bottom door because I built it with 2x2s that I had on hand, and I didn't realize they were really cracked in the middle. So the door's kind of wobbly now. And I was just trying to hurry and build it. Long story short, take your time when you're doing these details because you think you're gonna go back and finish it, but life gets busy and you just never do. So I made these doors Dutch style, meaning I have the top that opens by itself and the bottom. I can open the top. I'm gonna slightly open it so you can see, but I won't fully open it because when I do, they do like to jump and roost there and sometimes get out. So that's one thing. At least our chickens like to do that. I don't know if everybody's do. It's fine, we don't mind if we're here, but if we're not here, we're trying to get in and out quickly, I don't quite let them jump on there. And then we can throw scraps in when I open that door from our garden, which is right there, and they love it. As you can see, we even have some cedar tree branches of a tree that we had to take down right there. And then you can see our ladies here. So initially we did not put any bedding or anything down in this coop because when we built it, it was all leaves. And they loved it. They broke down the leaves in a matter of maybe a week. They were foraging and they were over that. So then it started to get a little, not muddy, but just kind of boring to them because there wasn't much peck and scratch. So we ended up getting some free bark or mulch delivered to us from a local tree service here. And then we ended up putting some wood chips down. As you could see, they raked all those wood chips all the way on this side. You can see here, it's like 6 inches where they raked all the wood chips almost this way. So they love to rake the wood chips and go through it. And they have a blast doing that. So in spring, when it warms up a little bit, all the food scraps that fall through and all the juices of stuff that fall through will bring a lot of worms and insects and bugs, and they're gonna have a good time foraging, eating. And it does help keep this clean. There's really very little smell here.
One got lime stuck on their back today.
If it ever does get kind of smelly, she just pooped for you just to show off. If it really does get smelly in here, like a little bit, all we do is we sprinkle lime all around here, and it really helps with the pH. But a run in a coop should not stink. If it does, either you've crowded the coop, or the run, sorry, with too many chickens, or the coop, or there's just something off. Because essentially, this run is like a compost pile. It should not smell, meaning you have enough carbon or nitrogen. So it was smelling before when we didn't have the wood chips because they were pooping and there wasn't any material here to absorb that. And then we put in the wood chips and now it stays dry, clean. Their feet are clean. They're happy, they're clean, they're scratching. So yeah, you can see here again, we have 19 of them. We feed them with these feeders, but they kicked it over right now. So, you know, I didn't clean up and make everything pretty prior to this tour. This is just kind of real life. What we go and do is just put it back on and put these 2 feeders on in full. However, it is nice when it spills, and sometimes we sprinkle feed all over because it does encourage their instinct to scratch and dig and peck. That's their job. That's all they do all day long, literally. And then we do have this large waterer. I think it's a 5-gallon waterer, and that will last us a few days for all 19, and then we switch it out. Not too bad. I am going to scale up the feeders. I'm going to get a bigger silo feeder eventually that can hold an 80-pound bag of feed. And then I'm going to get, or make actually, a waterer with those little cups that they can peck at. But again, just time, and we have so many projects with the nursery, so I haven't gotten to that yet. And then over here, what I really love and I really recommend is getting a door that is automatic. We got this from Omelette, and I will say it was not cheap. I can't remember, it was around 200, maybe I got it for like 180 on sale at one point, but right there, it is not cheap. It goes side to side, but it closes automatically in the morning and night. The batteries last a long time.
A few chickens got locked out.
Sometimes chickens get locked out. So I love that. I built a little ladder that goes up, so they'll go up at night around 6:30 now. But now that we're shifting from winter to spring and the days are getting a little longer, I'm going to push that back. And then in summer, even further, because then they'll go inside the coop a little later. So you got to get to know your chickens, know when they want to go in. Sometimes some get locked out, and that's why we check every day still, even if it's automatic. So what I love about this setup is that it has double protection for the chickens. Really, I see a lot of people build coops that the sliding door or that automatic door is right on the outside. They free range anywhere, and then they go in, which is fine, and they have good luck sometimes with that. For me, I feel like sometimes I get a little worried that there's going to be issues with predators. So we end up doing this where they live in their run all day long, scratching, pecking, eating, drinking, and then they climb up their stairs, and then they're in the coop. So the whole coop is protected itself, but also there's protection in the run. So if a predator tried to get through the run and made it into the run, they can't make it into the coop itself because it's lifted up, as well as, you know, if they go up the stairs or whatever, that door is sealed. What I really like about that automatic door is that it can't be opened. So you can pull on it, but it locks. I had another automatic door that did close and it was a slide up, but it didn't have a locking feature. So you could lift it up. So if a raccoon or even possum potentially got in the coop, they could, with their little hands, lift that up, get into the coop, and then have at it with the chickens. I apologize for the neighbor's loud sound. So Luca wanted to show you how this door works. You can manually open it. There's a button over there he's pressing, and close it. So he's gonna go ahead, you hold the button for 3 seconds. You can see there, and it does have protection, so if a chicken gets in the way, it'll stop. They have videos of like a balloon in the way and it won't pop the balloon. So you can see there it stopped and then it opened up again. So that's essentially what it does at night. It just closes up just like you saw, and we haven't had any issues. Sometimes it does get stuck, the door does, if they've kicked a lot of shavings in. So we do have to make sure that's clean. I will put a board in there. I need to put another board to make sure they don't kick stuff up. In hindsight, I would have built that door a little higher so that and then build a door inside the coop, like a ladder up to it. So there's no chance of them kicking in anything. I'll show you what I mean. So here's what I mean. That I built the door a little lower, which is almost level with the pine shavings here. What I should have done is I should have built that door a lot higher, and then I could have built a little ladder going up to that door, which is right up here. That way no shavings can get into the door. So that's something you learn as you do things, right? You build a coop. I was really inspired by Carolina coops and their coops when we built this. So I had a lot of extra wood and I kind of made my own dimensions and kind of figured it out as we went. And that's how you have to do things sometimes, and things don't end up perfect, but I'd say this is an amazing coop. We've lost no chickens. They've been so healthy and we're really thankful for them. They're laying, we're giving them lots of feed, lots of treats, we're spoiling them, but they're really working hard, and I'm really excited to be able to eventually harvest a lot of their droppings so that we can compost them and then put them in our garden to make some beautiful soil, because it ain't cheap buying soil all the time. We didn't mind the first time because it was a big investment in our garden to get the majority of the items in, but to top dress the garden once a year with some really, really good homemade compost, I'm looking forward to that. So, what did you want to say, Luca?
A long time ago when the rest of the run wasn't built, there's just some temporary wire there. I had to go in there to get all the chickens, and that was not easy because I kept bumping my head.
Yeah, you did. All right, guys, so I hope you enjoyed this tour video. I know there's probably going to be a lot of questions as to more details on chicken-related content. So if you guys want us to make more videos on either the chicken coop, why we built it, the size, the measurements, all the like nitty-gritty details, let me know. Post them in the comments. We can definitely do that. I just wanted to show you guys that we finally got it somewhat more done. I still have projects on it, but it's done enough that I can actually move to other things. Except though I do want to get the feeder and the waterer a little more honed in so that we can go probably a week long without needing to feed or water or check that. But we're here all the time. We enjoy checking on them, making sure they're healthy, they look good, there's no issues, and making sure that they're eating okay, they're laying okay. So those types of things we're just always trying to keep an eye on to make sure they're healthy. Well, thank you guys for watching. Hope you have a great day, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.